only way you can have development is for there to be peace and security. And the only way you can sustain what has been developed so far and make it useful to the people also is ensuring peace and security.
Mandinka animus and the invading Fula Muslim warriors from Futa was fought. This was the first time the University of the Gambia has embarked on a research of this nature. The exercise was partly inspired by the sweeping research conducted by an international scholar, Professor Babakar Bari. In his book entitled Senegambia and the Atlantic Slave Trade, Bari attempted to describe what he called the Greater Senegambia region. This included countries such as the Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania, Mali, Guinea-Conakry, and Guinea-Bissau. Having read the subject extensively, Ensar Toure offers us some useful lessons as regards to the scope and methodology of the research in Bissau.
The oral and the field research conducted by University of the Gambia Socio-Historical Fact-Finding Society is to create a new paradigm in the historiographical presentation of our pre-colonial history of Greater Senegambia. The purpose of our research in Kabu is to provide first-hand information or to get first-hand information on how Kabu emerged as a greater regional power after the withdrawal of Manding Empire in the 15th century. And also the conditions and the factors that were actually explored by the different aristocrats in the different kingdoms within the region to come together to establish that empire, and to understand the internal dynamics of political dispensation in Kabu during the height of the empire. The clash between Kabu and Futa could be rationalized in the context of globalization. We have to understand that the coming of the European had an impact on the stable social and political phenomena or atmosphere in our region. Kabu and Futa were all situated to have dominance over regional trade. In order to do that, these people had to compete over the control of the major strategic rivers. That is Rio Nunes, that is the River Nunes, and that of River Jeba. And that is why, after the control of these rivers, these people had to control the major trading system, especially two parochial trading systems. One was legitimate trade that was introduced in the latter part of 19th century, and that of the contraband slave trading system that actually was also going on, as a result of the introduction of cash crop production in Africa.
Throughout the history of Africa, the issue has always been about traveling and conquering new frontiers with a view to settling down and founding families. In Africa, the migration of ethnic groups from one place to the other contributed to a large extent in the growth and expansion of ethnic groups that have remained dominant in their geographical entities. One kingdom that was founded as a result of the confluence of several factors was Kabu. It existed between 1537 and 1867. Kabu rose to prominence in the region as a former province of the Mali Empire. It was a Mandinka kingdom of Senegambia centered on modern northeastern Guinea-Bissau, extending into Casamance in Senegal. The famed Imam of Kabu, Bafo de Sane, grew up reading the historical origins of his Mandinka tribe and the close links between the various ethnic groups in the Greater Senegambia region.
The history of Kabu, what they got from the elders about Kabu Empire. 3 clans left the Kaaba from Saudi Arabia. The name of the elderly clan called Kamisimbong and Kanuba Simbong and Lawali Simbong. That Lawali Simbong was the first ruler in Manding Kaaba. From there, the first place they built They call that place Kirikole. That is where they first established. Then they built a village. After that, then they told everybody that they will name it after the Kaaba. That is where they call Manding Kaaba. That Lawali Simbong, he was the first ruler in Manding Kaaba. That Lawali Simbong was the one who gave birth to Nara Makang. Nara Makang. That Nara Makang was the one who inherited him in kingship. That Nari Makang was the one who gave birth to Sunjata Keta and Dantarang Tumani. He was also a ruler in Manding. That Nara Makang, his wife, Sasuma Merenteng. That was the name of the wife. That Sasuma Merenteng, at the age of 7, for 7 good years did not give birth. Then he gave birth to Sunjata Keta and Dantaran Tumani. Tramakamba gave birth to Kambi. 6 regions used to rule in Kansala. Mana and Pachana. They always join. Tumana and Sama also join. Jimara and Kantora also join. These were the ones who joined kingship. From here to around, somewhere around Soma, wherever you see this Nyancho so named, know that his origin is from Cabo. It's from Cabo. Up to Guinea Conakry. Up to Kinara in the southern region of Guinea-Bissau. Up to Nyomi in the Gambia. Wherever you see a Nyancho, the origin is from Cabo. The Manswankas are originally from Mandinkas. The tribe called Biramolu also are from Mandinkas. The Lebos are also from Mandinkas. And the Serers, these are all Mandinkas.
The meteoric rise of Cabo and its gradual fall will continue to be critically examined and debated by historians and non-historians alike for many years to come. However, a brief analysis of the growth and expansion of Cabo offers us some useful insights into what was once a bursting kingdom. Of all the rulers of Cabo, none was more dominant than the 12th and last king Janke Sane. In a typical traditional setting, dependence on mystical powers was high on the political agenda. It was always in the minds of the people and anyone who was warming up for the throne. So we ask why Janke Sane's reign was characterized by war and violence.
The reign of Janke from 1850 to 1868 marked the beginning of new form of exploitation. During the period of cash crop production, Cabo Empire taxed the dependent territories to provide certain amount of farm produce for the people of Cabo. That was actually carried out and extended up to Guinea Conakry, in which Fullers were the dominant force. Therefore, with the new wave of trade, Cabo was making effort to reaffirm, to entrench its dominance over the existing territories. While those on the southern part, especially southern rivers in Guinea Conakry, were also mobilizing human and material resources to make sure that they challenge the strength of the Cabo Empire in order for them to extricate themselves from the exploitation of Cabo Empire. Consequently, the conflict degenerated to violence between the Cabo and the people of Fouta Djallon. And the Cabo people were ready to be exterminated just to see that they are not dominated by the Fulani forces from Fouta Djallon in Guinea Conakry.